Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome back to Copper Jacket TV. So I don't know about you, but I am completely fed up with California politicians. I have had it up to here and even higher. I am now 100% convinced that they do not want to be part of the United States anymore because they do not recognize the full Constitution and allow their citizens to practice their constitutional rights. As a matter of fact, while the rest of the country is going through this Second Amendment renaissance and revival, where instead of fighting against infringements being brought upon us, we're fighting to overturn previous infringements, California is still fighting for its Second Amendment life. And it's happening on a daily basis. It happens every single year, pretty much every single month. So today I've got an update for you on one of the worst bills in the state of California, AB1127. Today we're going to talk about some new movement and big news when it comes to the Glock ban. So let's get to it. Now, real quick before we get started, this channel is proudly sponsored by Attorneys on Retainer. Listen, if you're somebody who carries to defend yourself or your loved ones, or maybe you just keep something in the home for home defense, you need a membership with Attorneys on Retainer because heaven forbid the worst actually happens and you have to defend yourself. You could still be the one that ends up in handcuffs, and you're going to need good quality representation. Attorneys on Retainer, who is backed by Attorneys for Freedom, is the only law firm in the entire country that does nothing but self-defense cases. So if you were a member of Attorneys on Retainer and something like that happened, all you have to do is call the number on the back of that card. You speak to an actual attorney, giving you instant attorney-client privilege, and they will be there to defend you through the entire process. They also have things like civil liability coverage, red flag coverage, and more. Online education and training. It is honestly the best peace of mind that you will ever have in your wallet. Definitely check out the link down below. I've got some savings down there as well. Become a member like me of Attorneys on Retainer. Okay, so let's go and talk about what's going on here. So I'm sure by now most of you are aware of AB 1127, also known as the quote-unquote Glock ban, even though that name does not appear anywhere in this bill. We know what inspired the bill, we know what would be directly affected by the bill, and so that's what we call it. However, the bill itself, the language is a lot more vague because it doesn't specify one specific thing. Anything, any pistol that can be converted into a machine gun would be banned under this bill, and that would include a lot more than just that one brand. So this is a very big deal, and it's another way California politicians are trying to infringe on your Second Amendment rights. Well, we have been covering this since the very beginning, since this bill was introduced, and we have been following it ever since. And I mentioned in my previous video that this bill is moving at lightning speed. And today we have even more movement that just proves that this bill is more than likely going to be signed by the governor. Now, try and keep in mind that everything you're about to look at happened in only about a month and a half, and I have a feeling the rest of it's going to be even faster because the California State Legislature is going on summer recess beginning on July 18th. So here's a look at the progress of this bill. You can see back on April 8th, it passed the Assembly Public Safety Committee. On April 22nd, it passed the Assembly Judiciary Committee. And then just a few days ago, on May 23rd, it passed the Assembly Appropriations Committee. And take a look at these votes. They're so overwhelming that there is virtually no pushback. It seems like all of the Democrats in California, or at least in the California Assembly, want this bill to pass. I mean, through appropriations, 11-2, through the judiciary, 9-2, and then public safety was 7-1. These numbers are just staggering against us. So the big news here is that AB 1127 is pretty much ready to go to the Assembly floor for a vote. And we know where this is going to go because all of these committee members from the Assembly go back to the Assembly once their committees are done and they vote on these bills. And this gives us an indication of which way they're going to vote. It is straight down party lines. The Democrats have a supermajority, so there's very little, if any, pushback at all. And so they just get whatever they want. Whatever they want to put through, they put through. And you can tell by the numbers here that that's exactly what's going to happen once this actually comes up on their schedule. So AB 1127 is ready for a vote. We know which direction it's going to go in. It's going to be a completely partisan vote, and it's going to be all one-sided once again. Now, once the Assembly votes on this, it's going to go over to the Senate. The Senate has their own committees that they have to run through. It's very possible that the Senate ends up running this through very quickly and votes on it before they go on to summer recess. If they don't, however, it doesn't mean that this bill is over and done with. Once they come back and they reconvene from that summer recess, they could take this bill back up again and just finish it in August. So again, it's from July 18th until August. So I expect that there is either going to be quick movement on this, or they're just going to wait till after summer recess. But I feel like the quick movement is probably going to be the more likely option. Now, with that being said, there's one thing I want to mention here. If there's anything that's been proven by the entire country really speaking up to get the HPA passed on a federal level, it's that our voices do matter. They may not matter as much in the state of California, but I think if more people spoke up, I think if more people contacted their legislators and they let them know, hey, I oppose this bill, and more people just kind of made a big stink about it, maybe there wouldn't be as big of a chance of this actually passing. I mean, I don't know that for sure. California politicians do what California politicians do, but, at least they would know that their constituents are unhappy with this bill. And so even if it's not really going to have a huge effect, I think you need to find out who your legislator is, give them a call, and let them know that you oppose AB1127. Doesn't matter if it's in the Assembly or if it's in the Senate, because it's definitely going to the Senate. So make your voice heard. That's the best way that you can handle these things. Or join one of the groups that's going to fight back against it once it passes. Because I have a very good feeling this is going to be passed. I have a feeling it's going to be signed by the governor. And it's going to be a huge headache for people in California and just another infringement. So I wanted to keep you up to date on what's going on with 1127. And I wanted to tell you guys the latest movement on it. So with that being said, thank you all very much for watching. I really do appreciate it. If you haven't done so already, consider hitting that subscribe button. It's free. It only takes a second, but it really does help us out here quite a bit. Thumbs ups are always appreciated, and that little alarm bell will let you know when new videos come out. You guys all have a good one.